Good evening, friends. Welcome to Ramblings of a Middle-Aged Card Collector, Episode 7, A Marvelous Journey from Cards, excuse me, from cards, content, and community to shop owner. We're going to talk about our guest's journey as a collector, his favorite memories, and what's next for the hobby hit cards and collectibles. Tonight's guest is someone you've all probably seen on Instagram, YouTube, and whatnot, Justin Underwood, better known as Spidey Hits. Justin has made incredible content and unknowingly built a strong community around Marvel cards. And now he's taken his passion one step further with the launch of his own shop, HobbyHits Cards and Collectibles. Congratulations and welcome, my friend.
Wow, I'm so happy to be here. Matt, how are you tonight?
Very, very good. Very good. Sorry about that. I got dog hair in my throat.
You got choked up.
Dog gave me kisses.
You're just so thoughtful about that intro. It kind of got to you.
Yeah, that's it. I was choking up.
I loved it. Thank you, man.
Hey, what's going on? Claws out.
Claws.
Pulling fire. What's going on?
Got some friends here tonight.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I appreciate everyone who hangs out in the live chat and catches the replay. So thank you. With that, there will be a giveaway or two because I couldn't figure out which one to do. So tonight there will be two giveaways. So make sure you hit pound ramble on to be entered. And to enter, I'll show you what we got. We've got Miles Morales purple from Marvel Masterpieces 2022. And that's 102 out of 199.
Gotta love it.
And then the second one is the pop culture.
You got a Spidey.
There you go. Spidey hit.
A little pop culture art.
Yeah, and this is the really cool one. This is I believe this was the shorter one. So this is 32. Yeah.
Those are nice, man.
Yeah, yeah. That's good. Craig, Blake. Thanks for joining. So, Justin, thank you for coming on. I appreciate your time. I had this whole intro to ask you questions and everything, but I gotta say, our friend Jimmy's Hermit Styles Across the Marvelverse episode with you was incredible. I couldn't think of any other way to I'm not, there's questions I can't answer now. So I have to ask now for you to answer. So
I might change the answer up. So
yeah, well, there you go. You can do that too. There are a few that I just want to touch to go deeper on that you maybe skimmed on.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. And with that, I would think that the introduction now, instead of me asking you a bunch of questions that people either heard, and if you haven't heard, make sure to go check out that episode.
Yeah, Jimmy was a good time. He really was.
Yeah. So I'm going to instead let me ramble. And I'm going to talk about the influence and journey that you've impacted me on mine. So most of you may have known or not, COVID happened, right?
What was that? It was so long ago.
I know, wasn't it? So with that, thank goodness, my job was considered essential. So I was working and everything. But during the winter of 22, I happened to get injured at work. So I was out of work for a little while. I was home after doing physical therapy and stuff. I started going through a few of the totes in the basement, and I came across the old Marvel cards I had, and especially the ones that I pulled with my stepfather, at our kitchen table when I was younger, before he passed. And I was like, oh, that's nice. So I brought it upstairs. I didn't do anything with it. I didn't even at that moment. My YouTube filter was probably conspiracy theories.
It was in sync with you somehow.
Yeah, crazy stuff. So then got back to work, and then my unfortunate luck, I was rear-ended in the work car in June of 23, and that put me out. My back and hip are still jacked from that. So with that, I had a lot of time on my hands on the couch and my bed. And I caught your channel searching for Marvel cards.
Wow.
Yeah. And a few of the episodes that I really started getting into was obviously the upcoming 22 Marvel Masterpiece with Dan DeSantis.
Yeah. That was a good one.
It really was. And I was at the time, me and my son were building models. We were painting. Warhammer models and stuff. We were also playing this game called Giant Killer Robots, which is this board game. And I was like, you know, why don't I did that with my father? Why don't we go to the store and see if we can get Marvel cards? And we did. And then I kept watching your videos and other previous videos you made. I distinctly remember the one about the looking at 90s Marvel cards, your friend's like binder.
Yeah.
You had any hits or grails, and then you being honest and upfront with him and the community about, hey, you may have these cards in your binder, but they're not what you're thinking they're going to be. Not to say they aren't, but be more realistic. And I was like, oh, that's what it's about. It's the nostalgia, the memory that holds with the cards, maybe at lunch in school or something in the 90s. There, with my case, it was my stepfather personally. And that's a memory I hold dear with him before he passed. So I was like, all right, let me start doing that with my son. Started watching your videos. And then I was like, why don't we record it? I knew nothing about live. And so I had a GoPro, hooked it up.
You were listening because I was saying, don't open boxes without recording it.
That's it. For real. No joke. And I took that to heart. So we started opening and recording stuff. No joke. It's crazy because I don't know what happened to the algorithm. But the first video that we ever put up, me and my son, on our YouTube channel was us opening 2021 premiere.
Yeah.
And like what we hit and
the
everything.
big box.
Yeah. That video has 15,000 views.
Isn't that
and
incredible?
Then it just drops to like 170. I'm like, what happened to the algorithm?
YouTube give it and the YouTube take it away.
That's it, brother. That's it. So after that, we started doing box break. Then we got into the Fleer Ultra Midnight Suns. And I was like, this is a lot of fun. Why don't we do a live? And then you introduced me to live, meaning the first live I ever did was on 12 Breaks of Christmas for the Nora K. And I was your guest, and we ripped some Marvel Anime Volume 2. And it was a lot of fun. And I'll never forget that. And you taught me a lot. You inspired me. At that
showed
time,
you that it wasn't as hard as it looks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well,
just
believe it or not, and I have a picture. I'll share it at one point. But that video was recorded in our basement.
Yeah.
And I had these shelves, but there's no wall down there. So I had an old closet door that I painted and then hung the this J. Scott Campbell painting of print of it was Mary Jane, Black Cat, and what's the trifecta? I can't remember. I apologize. And Spider-Gwen. So I had that, and then but in view of the camera, it looked like a studio or something. You know what I mean? So I was like, I'm happy I kind of doing this. It was all inspirational from you. And then the second live I ever did again was you invited my son on and I to do Saturday morning cards.
Yeah. Saturday morning Marvel cards.
That's it, brother. And it was so much fun. I saw the excitement and joy in him. And then he talked about it for a while. So I was like, this is something we got to do. It's a lot of fun. So we started doing it.
For you to go back in time and watch it years from now.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. As time goes, you get older. I mean, I'm in my 41 now. So it's like, yeah, maybe he could share this with his kids and be like, oh, look what me and your grandpa did, instead of looking at a photo album. Like, we could watch this video and actually see it. You know what I mean? So I like that a lot. And you're absolutely 100% right with that. Yeah. So after that, I always thought that whatever you're doing was really cool and inspirational. And then as I looked at it, we became friends on, through socials and everything. And then I started seeing you as a man outside of Marvel cards.
Oh, okay.
And I got to say, you inspire the community for greatness. I mean, as just a man, the way you are here in live or in the community, and I had the pleasure of meeting you at OAX, you're who you are through and through, no matter where I've met you or seen you. And so that you're like a pillar to the community. You're great with your faith. You're great with communication and welcoming everyone new. So I thank you for that, and thank you for starting my personal journey into what it's maybe or coming of, and it's a fun ride.
Well, I hope you know how much joy it gives me.
I'm very happy to hear that. You know what's real funny? On my way home from work today, I'm on 80. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's New York City. It's a highway. 80 is a pretty big highway, so you got to take 95 to 80. I'm on my way home, and lanes merging because of construction. This big pickup truck, a dually, cuts me off. Literally cuts me off. I mean, within inches of my work car.
Like dangerous, like cut you off. Yeah.
Yeah, real. Do you know what the bumper sticker was on the
no? What did it say?
Truck? Do you follow Jesus this close?
Look, it worked. It got your attention. You read the bumper
oh my God, man. It's like, Jesus, take the wheel, bro.
Oh, yeah. People aren't perfect. They need a savior. That's for
correct. Great. So, again, I mentioned that I had the pleasure of meeting you at OAX. You were busy. You had a lot going on. But I have to ask, with OAX coming, are you going to have another booth?
Probably. You know, that's a really good question. So when I go to cons, there's a lot of things I'm trying to serve.
Okay.
A variety of things. Obviously, I want to make content for the Spidey Hits channel. That's something that I'm always wanting to serve. You know, I have people that I want to meet, have some face-to-face conversations with. I really want to make that connection. I might be picking up art, meeting new people, new artists, things like that, meeting new collectors. And then, you know, to some degree with OAX specifically, there's a little bit of work involved. Like that, you know, there's a expectation I'm going to cover certain things for them from a content standpoint.
Okay.
And maybe we've organized things. Basically, I'm like trying to, as much as I can, you know, level up, you know, the experience that people are going to have online of OAX and the experience that people are having there all together. And what that typically does, it means I'm running 100 miles an hour.
Oh, yeah.
From place to place to place, trying to fit it all in a span of, you know, 2.5 days.
Yeah.
And part of that last year was, it was going to serve OAX for me to have a booth. Did I want a booth? You know, in terms of, I didn't want to sell anything. I didn't want to take anything down there.
Yeah.
Know, a lot of work.
Oh yeah. I
bet. And so, but it served them. So I did it. Unless it's going to serve them again this year, I probably won't.
Okay.
Just because of what OAX is to me is this one-on-one.
Yeah.
With each other, with the artist. And the stuff that I would want to sell, I don't have to sell it there. You know what I mean? Like there's other avenues that's probably better. So they haven't asked me to have a booth this year. And unless they do, I probably won't.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was cool. It was cool to see it. Stop by, met you and your daughter again, you know, through the show. It's really cool.
Well, look,
your camera
maybe the HobbyHits staff, if that comes together like I hope, maybe that will make it easier, you know, have staff. But you're talking about money. You're talking about flying people down, housing them, paying them to work. You know, it's a lot.
That is big. Maybe for 27.
Yeah,
that'd be really cool to see a HobbyHits Cards and Collectibles move, brother.
Oh, well, I appreciate that very much. Cool. You know, I have my tickets. I'm planning to be there. We'll see what the presence fully looks like.
Yeah, I will be there as well. I'm bringing my son this year. Well, 26.
Yeah,
and he'll be 18 by then. So,
oh, it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, it'll be a good time. It'll be a good time.
My wife might come with me. My wife is starting to get into cards.
Okay,
like
that's cool.
Not Marvel cards. What do you think she's getting into?
Lorcana or Disney?
Pokemon.
Oh, wouldn't have thought of that. Okay.
Well,
she's our age, right?
Yeah, she is.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the right gen. You know what I mean?
Never in my life would I have predicted that.
No, I would have thought Disney or Lacana or something like that, because that seems pretty cool, like.
Yeah, I'm telling
Yeah.
you, we went to, excuse me, let me say this correctly. We had a local card show here in my hometown
Mhm.
last Saturday, and she came to help. I set up a little booth there.
Oh.
It was fun. It's great. Next thing I know, she's running around the card show buying Pokemon packs.
Oh, no
And
way.
then she's opened them, and she enjoyed the art, but she was able to get this app where she could scan it and it would tell her what it was and what it was worth. And so she was able to learn quickly. These are issues that we have with Marvel, right? That
Yeah.
is a barrier of entry.
Yes.
And I'm just watching her and really appreciating her own authentic experience with cards that she was having. She then overnights a Pokemon binder to the house. By Sunday evening, she's filling the binder up with her favorite cards and has
Oh,
me
man.
running around town finding more packs for her to buy. I
That's
actually was
fun.
like, finally, by the end of Sunday afternoon, I actually broke into the HobbyHits stash of boxes and let her open up 2 of those Pokemon boxes.
That's great, man. Well, that's
Yeah.
awesome that you guys are, you're sharing some common interests, a different IP, but you're still sharing common interests, and that's
Well,
awesome.
I did get her to open up a case of Disney Chrome with me, and
Cool.
this was a card that she pulled. I don't know if you can see that well.
Oh, wow.
It's the dual auto Aladdin and Jasmine out of 5.
Well, that's sharp looking.
Yeah, it's really a beautiful card.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
I like that. That's awesome. Is she proud of that card?
Oh yeah,
All
100%.
right. Awesome. Awesome.
Especially since she curb stomped me and pulling all the hits.
Yeah, Pokemon was big, when we were in like middle school. It was known of, I think, when we were like in 5th grade, was that like 95, 96, and 94, 95. And I never really got into it. I had a binder of it, but I didn't really get into that. I was getting into like G.I. Joe. I think I had the Simpsons. I built the Simpsons binder. So it's really cool that there's a common interest but different IPs.
Now my wife has 0 history with Pokemon.
That's cool.
Like 0. So I can never have predicted this, but she's very excited about Hobby Hits, and she kind of found her own path into the space. And so I think that's cool.
That's really cool. Are you giving her pointers about like the binder and all that stuff?
Nope. When she asked me a question, she was expressing a frustration because she wanted her favorite cards in the first few pages, and then she wanted to do it by character later on. But what do you do with one of the characters later on is one of the cards that's your favorite? It feels like it's out of place. And I was like, I understand. I know exactly. Like, you got to make a choice, or you got to get 2 of them.
That's cool. Yeah, you got to get the 2. You got to get the second. Well, that's awesome, and that's great that couples, you could find something, a common interest, or something to do together. Is that now because you guys are an open nest now, right? Your daughters are.
Yeah,
right? Oh, wow.
There's no kids at home. Here we
Wow.
are. We just turned 42 and 41, and our kids are all moved out.
Wow, new chapter.
Yeah.
Hey, you got to be nice to your wife so she helps you with your endeavors.
Yes, be nice to your wife. I strongly encourage it,
brother. I'll definitely go into the Hobby Hits Cards and Collectibles stock for you.
Exactly.
Wow, that's fun. That's fun. And I'll actually touch on like we were saying with OAX, and another inspiration is you did an amazing video for OAX 2024 post about like you running around and getting artists for the free sketches and or sketches at the event, like show commissions and stuff, plus your regular pre-show commissions.
Yeah.
So that inspired me for when I went on how to like preemptively strike to be able to get who I wanted when they were releasing, because some of these artists are very popular at certain times.
Look, OAX does an amazing job of putting some of the top talent in one location and makes them accessible. And if you prepare with commissions, you can have a really great experience because you get your art, you get it there.
Yes. And with that, I will just to let you all know, next week's episode, Khosrow will be our guest, and we will be talking about comic art fans in OAX redefining the collector experience. So make sure to check in for that one.
You don't want to miss that. What an intelligent and incredible collector. Talk about a leader in the hobby. That's Khosrow.
Yes, another inspiration. 100%. So we're going to go into this, Justin. Again, there was a few that I'm just going to go on. You can answer it however you want. But I tried to be different. No duplication here. How has your collecting focus evolved over the years from toys, comics, sketch cards, and PMGs?
Yeah, I mean, look, growing up, I didn't see myself as a collector of toys. And really, I mean, even with comic books, that was more about me enjoying the art and the story, not like as a collectible thing. Okay. In fact, the only time I can really remember of thinking of comic books as collectibles wasn't me; it was my dad. My dad ordered some Superman comics about, from the death of Superman or the all new Superman off of QVC.
What?
And I remember him like presenting them like, hey, these are collectibles, like you're going to want to keep these, back when everything was a limited edition. Right. And, and trading cards or Marvel cards, again, that was like just mini art portraits to me with, information. It was like, for me to kind of, go back and look through and use to draw, because I love to draw. And that's what I would use as my, examples, inspiration and reference for drawing. Toys were toys. I played with them. I certainly held on to them, but I didn't see it as collecting.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until, into adulthood when I started thinking, I'd become a trained, a real estate appraiser. So I'd learned about value in a way that was, always on my mind. It was a part of my everyday job. And so when I had a little extra money, I was thinking about, what do I want to collect? I wanted to collect something that had a market to it, where I could kind of see an opportunity and like, oh, I think that's going to be worth something one day, or, you know what I mean? Or discover it, find it in a garage sale, like, those kind of thoughts.
Okay.
But I wanted it to be visible because, I thought about all the things, watches, coins, I was like, well, with action figures, I can display them, So, and their price point of entry was manageable. It was the other part of it. I mean, a very expensive action figure is like $100, right? At least.
Yeah.
And, people pull $100 Marvel card. This is a problem of our hobby. They're like, oh man, I got ripped off. It's like, I watch people go crazy over a $50 Pokemon card.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
If you don't pull a $500 Marvel card, you didn't pull anything. It's a problem. That's another conversation for another day. But
price point
of entry was great. And you could find it on the retail shelf.
Yeah.
And so, that was, I think it was 2016, 2017, something like that. And then going into COVID, that actually became kind of this whole hunt chase element, which I really, really appreciated. In fact, that's one of the things I hate that COVID ruined for me. I used to do these hunt videos where I would leave the house, go into a store and hunt, and then go to this other store and hunt. If I was traveling out of town, I would go hunt. But now, because you order everything online, there's very rarely things in stock. Like the hunt aspect has been pulled out of the hobby for me, and I hate that. But that's partly part of the evolution. But as COVID happened, I started making content, and then that led into Marvel cards, which was really more content before collecting, because I just brought out my collection with the content initially. And then that's when I began to discover the modern version of Marvel cards. And then that discovery became, this whole new collecting journey. And then I just documented it, on YouTube at that point.
Awesome. I thought, that hunt, unfortunately, and I'm ashamed, but I was big into Funko Pops.
Yeah. You're ashamed? It's like Beanie Babies now?
Jeez. Yeah. Well, they probably, who knows? But I have totes upon totes upon totes upon totes in the basement.
Yeah.
I'd buy like plastic shelves to put all these notes on, and they lined the whole wall of the
Space
basement.
is a big part of collecting. You got to think through it.
Yeah. Well, I was into it, that
Yeah.
hunt, that chase,
That
and
hunt.
all
Yes.
the exclusives of the glow in the dark, and it was
Uh-huh.
so, and then Target kind of made it hard, and it was like scalpers, I guess, or resellers would know when the drop is coming, and then they would pull it, and then you get there and it's like you don't find anything unless somebody hid one behind some other box.
Oh yeah. I mean, I had to become friends with a Target employee.
There you go.
Because it's like, how do we beat the scalper,
Yeah. Because it even happens with cards, right? It's still there with the Marvel cards.
Yeah.
Because I saw that, because I was like, oh, there should be some at my GameStops. I have 3 GameStops within a 15-minute drive, just because it's the Willowbrook Mall, the Garden State Plaza, and then just one happens to be in town. So I checked all 3, and it was like, yeah, they were here yesterday, but I was like, did you not have like sale limits? And they're like, well, we kind of did, and then we stopped. And I was like, all right, so it's an old no holds barred, right? So the next time I actually found Topps Chrome Marvel in a GameStop, I was like, give me everything you got. they're like, really? I was like, yeah, I'll take 1 hobby. I'll take all 6 blasters. They're like, all right, really? I'm like, yeah. When are you getting more? And they're like, we don't know. I'm like, all right, well, let me know. I come in this mall frequently.
Not that it's wrong to sell, but I mean, I'm assuming you were opening them, right?
Ripping them.
Yeah.
Oh, ABR,
baby. Always be ripping.
That's it. I have boxes, folded for my binders, but that's all I have left. The value is gone, right?
Amen to that.
So great answer.
I want to finish one part of that, because you threw in PMGs, and I thought that was interesting. What made you add that as part of the question?
To me, PMGs are a staple in a collection. Spider-Man is a amazing character to either have a red or a blue or color match for blue and red for Spider-Man. And I know in your past you have some of your personal collection, so just threw it in there to be like as a scope.
Yeah, so interesting. Probably 2013 is the first year of PMG's first iteration for Marvel card PMGs, is what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
But I recently sold my red Spider-Man PMG for $16,000 to have the money to open up HobbyHits.
Okay.
So it's an example of how my collection has evolved, right? Okay. I want to do this. I got to have cash to, do it. And, what can I do to do that? And unfortunately, was that the, close to the apex of my collection? Yes. But it's a decision I had to make.
I totally can understand and relate what you're saying. So it's tough. It really is. Because right now, with the pre-commissions I have for OAX and what I have planned coming, hopefully with next comic art, I need a little dough. So there are, like I was PCing Rocket and Man Thing, and as my journey furthered into it, I love Rocket Raccoon, but I love raccoons.
Yeah.
And Man Thing has always been my jam. It's just never been the forefront. It's kind of been like an obscure character, and you kind of at one point it was like, yeah, I like Man Thing, and they're like, you like man things? And I'm like, no, Man Thing, yeah.
The character,
Dr. Ted's house, yeah.
And
they're like, oh, okay, like Swamp Thing? No, not Swamp Thing. Kind of close. And then you got to go into the whole story about the 2 roommates and everything. And I'm like, so it was easy in the beginning to just be like, yeah, Rocket Raccoon. And so I'm probably going to be getting rid of some of my Rocket sketches, some APs. I'm also going to be I have some Wolverine sketches.
Funny story, when I opened up the Marvel Mint case, the printing plate of Rocket Raccoon was the most requested card out of that case.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Great art.
Yeah, but I mean, I hit hit an out of 5 Magneto. I hit a sketch of Ghost Spider. I hit the out of 10 Spider-Man. I hit a bunch of great cards. Yeah. They're like, hey, I want that Rocket.
Yeah, that's his that's the art from his rookie card from 2011 Rittenhouse.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, well, it's him with the Guardians, so they just took him and put that on the minted. So when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's a nice homage. That kind of wants to pull me in. And I was like, no, I have plans. Don't ruin the plans.
Good restraint. Good restraint.
You do. And if you haven't checked it out, make sure to go check out Comic Art Explained with OCD Marvel Sketch Cards, where I did an episode with them talking about the process for pre-OEX commissions.
Yeah.
And that will be a topic next week. So exciting, exciting. With the boss CEO himself.
Yeah, the man.
Yeah, the man. All right, brother. So we'll move on here. You've become a voice in the Marvel card community. What is it about Marvel cards that excites you more than sports or other kind of collectibles?
Yeah. I don't see myself as a voice, but we can come back to that. What excites me about Marvel cards personally is that it is an avenue of which I can use to create moments and memories. You know, for me, opening up a box of cards, maybe it's good, maybe it's bad. They're both an experience, right? They're both a memory. And in the end, it does this really fun thing. It attracts people that are, like-minded but similar interests. So you're able to use it to build connections and relationships really quickly with. And so I really, really enjoyed that part of the process. Plus the fact that I enjoy a tremendous amount of the characters that are in Marvel makes it easy. You got a ton of variety there of art and characters. The content creation around it is a lot of fun for me. It's an outlet. It's this, I always have to be doing something. It's just a weird thing. I say weird thing. It's just part of who I am. I don't know how to turn it off. And the way I exist in this space allows me to kind of always be in that creative mindset, which is a fun place for me to be thinking about, hey, what can I create next? How can I do it? How can I do it in a way that I will enjoy it, that, kind of levels up. And in some ways, I try to be a little bit I think of myself as a little bit of a pioneer, where I just have this, machete, and I'm going through the woods, kind of like clearing a path a little bit. I'm like, hey, everybody, come this way. I've got the path. I'm clearing the path. Like, come on. And that the way I exist in the space that way is a lot of fun for me.
That's cool. Okay, that's cool. I like that. The market for Marvel cards has really grown. In your opinion, what trends are you seeing that excite you the most?
What trends am I seeing that excite me the most? I don't know. I mean, I look at Marvel card sales because I get asked all the time, "Hey, what's this worth?" It's it is an unfortunate aspect of being a visible presence in the hobby, where people just assume you know what their card's worth.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'll have to do the research, right?
Yes.
But I think it's still just too volatile to say that there's like these really definable trends that you can really pick on. But if I had to pick a favorite kind of possible trend that's happening right now, is the fact that there's some really, really good cards that don't have top stamped on them that you can spend time learning about and hunting, and likely, not all of them, but likely get at, a favorable price compared to what the kind of current hype cycle is. So I would say that as a collector would be my favorite trend that's happening. Example is 2022 Marvel Masterpieces.
Yeah.
Quite possibly the greatest set ever released. Certainly up there.
Yeah.
Okay.
With me, personally. Yeah.
And, those cards, I mean, they're just too cheap relative to where they were when they released.
Yeah.
Relative to where some other cards, similar rarity character, are selling for.
Yeah, it's totally a time to start backfilling sets or whatever you're trying to collect. there's plenty of stuff that came out with Upper Deck within the past 2 years that was just like spitfired out. And I think we're overshadowed. So this would be a great, like
No,
perfect.
to your point. I mean,
Yeah.
platinum is cheap. You know,
Yeah.
not all the cards. There's always exceptions. Please, please understand that. But I mean, yeah, you can build a really nice platinum collection right now cheap.
Yeah, most cards. You can get matriarchs, any of the Fleer Ultras, matriarchs, Fleer, Midnight Suns, Wolverine, and sealed product. So it's not unreachable for you to be able to start ripping into that if that's your jam. If you don't want to be going into what the trend seems to be just about breaks. Let's see. Your Instagram and YouTube presence has built a strong following. I know you mentioned in previous streams that it wasn't intentional for when you first made the disc intentional to build a community, but when you first made the Discord, how was it for managing the ever-growing community?
Yeah, well, that's a learning experience. I didn't go into the Discord with like, oh yeah, or I know how to do this, and here's how I'm going to do it. I went into the Discord saying, you know, I just have this. I have this belief that there is a way that people want to be able to enjoy Marvel cards, and I think I can kind of create just a few boundaries that allow that to flourish, right? Rather than creating a bunch of rules to try to dictate it.
Okay.
And I thought, you know what, the reality is like the way that for me to manage this is if it most naturally fits who I am. So I don't have to like be uncomfortable in that space. You know what I mean? I can just be myself.
Yeah.
And it works or it doesn't. And so if you want to be here, great. If you don't want to be here, great. I'm glad we figured it out. So we don't have to go through this whole thing later on. We're both mad at each other. Right.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, so I just made 3 simple rules, and I mean, and they're really more guardrails than rules. You know, you got to love people. You got to love Marvel cards. You got to keep them marvelous. You know, it's simple. If you don't love people, please leave. You know, it's if you don't love Marvel cards, please exit. This is not you're just in the wrong room, right?
Yeah,
you ever walk in a room, you're like, oh crap, I was not supposed to be here.
No.
I've done that. I walked into a real estate closing a couple of months ago, thinking it was the closing that I was supposed to be in, but I was an hour early. I immediately realized I'm not supposed to be here, and I left. No hard feelings, right? So I kind of wanted to create that kind of environment, like, oh yeah, like, hey, you know, I only like sports cards, and I think Marvel's stupid. Well, you don't want to be here, right?
Yeah.
And then ultimately keep it marvelous. And it's just simply, I just don't want to exist in any space that has my name on it that I would be embarrassed for my daughters to be in.
Nice.
It's really that simple. If my daughters were today's National Daughter Day, by the way.
It is.
If my daughters were to stumble into the Spidey Hits Discord, I really would like for them to go, okay, wow. Like, you know, my dad has a fun group of friends, right? Rather than, ugh, what a gross group of people, you know?
Okay. Totally get it. Yeah.
Why are they so mean towards one another? You know, like, and look, I don't use the word positivity a lot because I think positivity can be negative when it's unhealthy or it's over the top or it's salesy. You know what I mean? Like just whatever, right? But the word marvelous works. It's been a part of my channel from day one. But I think people understand what I'm trying to say is like, look, we're just here to have an enjoyable time with one another. And the way I would explain that is like, make sure your neighbor's having a great time. It's really that simple. If you make sure your neighbor's having a great time, I have a strong inclination that you're probably going to have a good time. And that's what I wanted for the Discord. The other thing I didn't do is I didn't make it public. So right now, with some minimal exceptions here and there, you can't just stumble into the Discord. Someone has to send you a link to get in. And that just, there's no like approval process, you know, or you have to answer these questions. It's just, if Matt thinks that someone would have a great time in the Discord, he would send them the link and they would come in. And that's kind of done its own thing. I don't have to really control that. Think about it this way. In 2022, August 2022 is when the Discord was created. Here we are over 3 years later. I banned 3 people.
Yep.
One of them was a thief, right? That was discovered. One of them was just did not create a marvelous atmosphere and was committed to not doing so. And one of them really just showed up and wanted to get banned. Like that, they came there to do that, and so they got what they were asking for. And
I think I remember that one.
And so
I was in a few of those chats, and I was like, I don't know what's going on. No, it's almost like where it's the Homer meme in the bush. You just start disappearing.
exactly. But look, I mean, negativity, to the person just viewing it, it can be entertainment. It kind of tingles the flesh a little bit. Like, who said what? You know, like you lean into it. It's like when you drive by the car wreck, like you lean in and like, what's happening over there?
Yeah.
Somebody might be dead, right? And no one would celebrate that, but it still gets you up out of your seat a little bit. And negativity is like the easiest way to create content and create views and create, notoriety and all this kind of stuff. Like, if you want to grow your channel, be negative. Put the negative stuff out there. But what are you really creating? Because you have an opportunity to put something out into the world that didn't exist a few minutes ago, that has the ability to possibly help someone else create. And so for me, like, again, I don't like to overuse the word positivity, but it's really just like, hey, the world can actually be really hard and cold and difficult and cruel, and like, let's not do that here.
No.
And
let's come together on our love for cards.
and maybe there's a card you don't like, but there's a way to say it. It's like, hey man, like, out of all the Marvel cards that I've loved, man, this one's not for me. Like, great.
That's
I'm
it.
glad you shared that with me. Like, it's just a conversation at that point. But yeah,
so go into like personal things and call them names because they like that card.
I mean, the moment you feel like you're looking down on someone else, man, for me, that's a check engine light. It's like, whoa, Justin. No, you don't. Who are you to look down on anybody? Right. Like I'm destitute on the floor. I need help. There's no one for me to be looking down upon. Right. And so to idea that you would use some nerdy trading card and your high thought about it to look down on someone else, like, that is just childish.
Like, what floor are you? Like, what? I don't even understand that rationale.
So no, there's just, I just don't want to be a part of that in any way. And so my goal is to actually draw a line in the sand that says, hey, please don't cross this line if that's who you want to be. And if that's who you want to be, bravo, go on about your life. Like, I'm not here to tell you what to do. That's not my place. But don't cross this line.
I totally get what you mean there. And Tony, the wigs are on October 30th for the Halloween set costume party.
Excited about that.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun, man. That was great, Justin. I love that answer. Because community's tough, right? It's a word that can be very broad. You could be in a community. How's the easiest way I could translate that or give a good example? You can dislike someone you love. As a family member or a friend. I don't want to say the word hate, but I think that's usually used in that term. You could hate somebody that you love, but you could dislike somebody you love. And in the community, sometimes there are harshness. There can be not accepting, welcoming, but not accepting, cliques. So, and that's just human nature. So it's nice to see when you go onto the Discord, everyone's just like, yo, what's up? Oh, that's your card. Oh, that's great. And that's just the environment that you get.
It's fun, but it's funny because I don't know how this happens. We just have some really cool people in the Discord, but even like the way people make fun of each other, right, is there's an endearing, loving way that it happens, right? Because it's like, I don't know. It's I don't. I think if I tried to do it again, it wouldn't work. You know what I mean? Like I don't even know how it's happening. But the word community is, I hear it used, and it's like, hey, I want to create a community. I'm opening up HobbyHits Cards and Collectibles. I want to create a community so I can sell you something. Like, there's some of that goes on. It's really just to sell you something. And the English language, like it gets difficult because people say one thing, someone else actually hears another. And I think about like family. I didn't pick my family. I didn't pick to be born in North Louisiana to the Underwoods and the frost. Like someone much bigger than me chose that.
Yeah.
But I'm choosing to hang out with Matt tonight. That I'm choosing, right? You feel it, don't you?
Oh yeah, of course.
And I don't want to lose that while I'm interacting with people. If someone chooses to walk into Hobby Hits, like that's kind of special. They don't have to.
Yeah.
So I'm going to now choose to treat them in a hopefully a unique way that honors their choice, right? I'm going to love my family no matter what they do. They could become the scums of the earth.
Yeah.
But again, I didn't pick them. God did. And I'm going to honor that, not because of what they do, but because of who he is. But I'm going to choose you, right? Yeah. And now community starts to happen in a unique way. And I think, at the Marvel cards for me, and I'm maybe talking like an old person now, but it just has a way of helping me make that connection more quickly and more quickly and more quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, I could totally understand that. And I could totally relate. I've had a pretty turbulent past myself that I've never really opened up about, but well, at least on here. But yeah, I was a drug addict for 8 years of my life, all throughout high school and a few years after as a young adult. And then I had my son.
Yeah.
And just like that, I had a calling, and no joke, never touched anything other than some other fun.
Right. Look, you're a walking miracle.
Yeah.
But he didn't choose you.
Yeah.
You were choosing community with those other people. Yeah. And the thing that you were doing, that was your choice. Mm-hmm. But he didn't choose you. And father is a title that only God can give.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
There's no other title. Like I could give you the title, Marvel Card Podcaster of the World. Like it doesn't mean anything because I gave it to you. Father means a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a big.
I totally agree.
Yeah. And so now you're like, okay, I'm going to now live in a way that honors this title for my son. And so, you didn't choose that, God did. So you honor that. That comes first. But your community, you're choosing.
Yep.
And there's a lot of love in choosing. And I like that word better than accepting, because that word, man, there's some things that are not acceptable.
Yeah.
But I'm going to love you anyways. And I'm going to choose that.
Well, that's beautiful. That's beautiful that there's forgiveness and choice and mm-hmm. who you're bringing in and forgiving. Because some people don't, and some people need that. They need that positive support, and no matter what, and again, in community. So yeah, beautiful 100%. Words, brother.
Yeah. Well, it saved my life. So
yeah. Well, that was probably my problem. I didn't have a father when I was young. He passed away, and my mom had to work a few jobs to raise me and my two sisters. And then I was all of a sudden the man of the house and wasn't allowed to hang out with friends because I had to babysit. And then as I turned a little older, I rebelled.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a big deal. And again, the miracle is where you're at now.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. The miracle is definitely my son. And I love him to death. He's the best thing that ever happened to me. He's all the best parts of me. So I'm blessed and thankful every day. He surprises me, and I'm so proud of that kid. So
that's awesome.
I'll be happy for you all to meet him in person.
I'm excited. Yeah. Hope he has a great time.
He's super stoked, dude. He's really big into Magic the Gathering. So when I told him about there'll be like a Magic event and everything, he was like, "What?" And so he's really into it. He's really
That's great. You
so
picked the perfect time to go then.
Yeah, it is. It is. So this was very exciting, and I was happy to see this for you. And I'm curious on what else you're going to bring. But
yeah,
you've been published in the PSA Magazine with an awesome piece, a guide to Stan Lee autograph cards.
Mm-hmm.
How was the experience getting your article published as a collector?
Look, I'm really proud of that for a number of different reasons. One is I made an F in English in my senior year, not for the whole year, but the first 6 weeks. And Miss Green was my English teacher, and she came up to me and she said, "Justin, no one has ever made an F the first 6 weeks and graduated high school." And she just kind of put me in my place, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot going on. I have all the excuses you could ask for, right? But she kind of redirected me, and I was able to graduate high school. And when that article got published, I sent it to her. And it was a really, really kind of special moment. I was like, I know you don't think it would have been me, right?
Yeah, right.
It got published. But
that's cool.
Here's what happened. I'll tell you the story. PSA put out an article about Marvel rookie cards. And I made a video walking through it. And the video was just very simply honoring the article, but also just calling out some things that might have been not wrong, but a different way to look at it. Right.
Okay. Misrepresented.
Yeah. It just, there's nuances to this stuff.
Okay.
Right. And maybe some of it was just incorrect data. Right. I don't see myself as like the expert of Marvel cards. I see myself as an expert because compared to most people, I know a lot, right? Compared to the real experts in the hobby, I have a lot to learn. And so I have so much to learn. But they saw the video. Somehow they got a hold of it. And somehow the editor-in-chief got a hold of it, and they got me on the phone. They said, "Hey, we loved your video. Wished you'd have wrote the article. Would you like to write for us?" And I said, "Well, number one, not a writer. I am a communicator.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a teacher at heart, and I can communicate this stuff. So as long as you're willing to let me communicate it, and then you do the editing, then yes, I will gladly do it." And so now I think I'm up to 8 articles published. Wow. Got another one coming up in October, which I'm excited about, on 1990 Impel Marvel Universe.
Cool.
And so I think that October, I believe it's 26. Don't quote me on that because I don't have it in front of me. But in what does Kazra say?
I got a copy of that PSA mag to score a Justin Auto at OAX.
That's hilarious. That's funny. I'll inscribe it for you, my friend.
There you go.
But anyhow, October in 1990 is when Marvel Universe came out. So I think that should be the yearly Marvel Card Day. Is the day that 90MU released. And that article kind of calls that out. It's like, hey, this is really the birth of Marvel cards with 1990MU. So I'm excited about that article. It comes out in October. But
exciting.
But having that relationship with PSA, getting to know them, I would tell you, just incredible people. They really do love Marvel cards. They just haven't had a way to really show and express that, but they want Marvel in every one of their magazines. And they don't want to talk about value. They don't want to talk about any of that kind of stuff. They just want the information, the storytelling, the collector. I've done a collector interview with Fausto. I did one with Matt, a Gamut collector. And we've got a lot of other great stuff out there, that stories that are still yet to be told. But hopefully that will continue to go on into 2026.
Oh, that's awesome. Mm-hmm. I really like that.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a staple now in their magazine.
They have become addicted. I tell them, like, yeah, you are addicted to these Marvel card articles because they want one. I did 2 in August in one article. I'm like, hey, only have so much time.
Wow. That's great though, man.
Yeah.
That's just another step in this journey. That's just amazing.
Yep.
I really like that.
Thank you.
PSA is really cool. Make sure to get the subscription. It's not
Yeah,
that
and make sure you
expensive.
get the pop entertainment and pop culture subscription.
Yes.
Otherwise, you're going to get a
Great
sports
point.
magazine and you won't read any Marvel card articles.
Great point. That is a great point. Yeah, because you don't want just the sports.
Yeah. A lot of times they're putting
Who the hell's
promos
this
in.
article?
Right. A lot of times they're putting promos and various things in the magazines, and those things will pay for your PSA subscription.
Oh, that's
Now, you
cool.
got to get lucky, obviously. I'm not saying you're guaranteed, but
Yeah.
there's some pretty cool stuff they put in there.
Oh, I like that. That's an awesome little hint there. Make sure to
Yeah.
check that out. I will be.
Yeah.
What's the most exciting pull or acquisition you've ever had?
Look, I mean, there's nothing. I mean, I say nothing. The reality that I even was an owner fully of the 1-of-1 gold precious metal gem Spider-Man, like I can't recreate that. You know, up until the moment I opened up the box and held it in my hand, I didn't know if I was getting scammed, you know.
So that's a scary situation.
It's a scary situation. And when I bought it, I told the person, I was like, look, I don't know you. I'm not where I can hold this card in my hand. It was not graded. And I was like, I'm sending you as much money as I can afford to lose. Like, I can't send you any more than this because I don't, like, you sound like a trustworthy person, you know. Ended up being an incredible human, very trustworthy. Yeah, you know, there was no reason, you know, once I had the card in hand, got to know them, there's no reason not to be able to trust them. But
it's just that unknowing, you know.
Yeah, I mean, look, I probably don't give that card enough credit, you know, for, you know, the impact it's had for, you know, me in the space.
Okay.
Because I held that card in such a way that I was like, you know what, I want to be a good steward of it, and I don't want to overuse it. You know, I didn't want to do this thing where I was shoving it in everybody's face every time they were. And in fact, you really won't see much content if you go back and look, you know, with that card on the channel. But that had to be. I mean, my daughter is over my shoulder as I'm opening up the box when it gets delivered, and because I had described it to her, and she's like, that's my inheritance. Like, that's how she was looking at it. Like, that's the real thing. That's my inheritance. And no, it really was a college. It ended up being a college fund. I bought both my girls' vehicles with that card.
Beautiful.
And helped with college. 100%.
There you go, man.
And so, yeah, they got to enjoy it more than I did in the end.
Well, God bless that's an amazing thing. And you know, just to put it further out there, that's a great memory. And it's those memories that make everything so important to us as we get older, or your kids get older, to be like, do you remember that? That was crazy. That was kind of like winning the lottery or the scratch off or something, you know, like,
or when they're telling their grandkids, you know, hey, look,
exactly.
Papaw Spidey, like he that's twice we referred to ourselves Papaws tonight. We're getting old.
Grandpa Spidey. I know we are, right? Well, Justin, it's clear how much passion you bring to the hobby. And speaking of passion, you're now taking your next big step, turning your love for collecting into a shop of your own. Let's talk about HobbyHits Cards and Collectibles, the new venture you're launching. What inspired you to launch a physical store?
Yeah, I don't know if I can point to one thing. What I can tell you is that those precious memories of me going into cards, coins, and collectibles in the mall with my brother, with our friend Matt Hankins, those are, I mean, I could just still remember walking around it. I still remember where the comic books were. I still remember where they had the cards. I still remember, you know, back then you could buy individual packs and you were not as much risk of buying loose packs today, right? And that's what we would buy. We'd buy packs at a time. I remember opening up cards in the store. Like, we couldn't even wait till we left to be able to open up cards. And, I remember my friend Matt Hankins pulling this really rare Spawn card that the owner said, I'll never forget, he said, that's one per pallet. That's how he described the rarity of the card. And when you're in 4th, 5th grade and you pull something that's like worth $100, that sears you, right? Like that
Oh yeah.
marks you in a unique way. And then by 96, 97, it was gone. And to like never, it still is not back in my hometown. It still does not exist.
That's tough.
We have a comic book store, and for a comic book store where people can pick up their issues that they're getting from their pull list, like it works. But there's nothing card related in there at all. We don't even have a sports card store. We have some TCG stores, in one in town, one in the neighboring community. And recently I had a horrific experience in there, going in there to talk to them about Marvel.
Ooh.
And, so you kind of knowing that I would love for people in our community to have access to something like that as a part of it. But the other part of it is just recognizing where I'm at in the space, right? And understanding that the rate of growth of me being in the hobby either can't continue to grow like it's going, or I have to pull back. There's not this, you don't stay like this. Like that's just not how life works, right?
Yeah, no.
You're going up or down, up or down, up or down.
Yes.
And there's these various things that I would like to do and I'm inspired to do, but they take operations. They take staff. And I don't know if you notice, I'm being facetious here, the way we get cards has changed.
Yeah.
If you watch the content at the end of last year, I kept saying, hey, look, everything's about to change. Like, we're going to have to learn to adapt if you want to still be in this space and you want to collect. No longer can you just sit on the sidelines and go, I'm going to wait for EPAC.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's not happening.
No.
The
Totally
closest thing to EPAC you're going to get now is breaks online. Yep. And so, and couple that with a couple of like serendipitous conversations and opportunities, it became apparent once my wife and I sat down and we said, okay, once the kids are moved out, what do we want to be about? What do we want to do? I have a very demanding full-time job. I am significantly involved in my local community. So can we even do it? Do we even have the space, to be able to do it? And, I already give a ton of energy and time to the hobby. And so I think that in a lot of ways, that energy will be just directed to the shop, and the things that I do now will happen through the shop in a lot of ways. Like content won't just be me in this room. It'll be me in the shop. You know what I mean? Yeah. But just the reality of like how all the kind of cards are starting to unfold, has led to hobby hits, and I'm really excited.
It's very exciting. I'm excited for you. Yeah, man. What's the biggest challenge in moving from collector, content creator into becoming a shop owner for you?
Outside of money?
Yeah.
Let's set that challenge to the side. I mean, look, nothing's cheap right now. And you're not going to hear me get on here and whine about how expensive stuff. I'm just letting you know, like, it just takes, there's a money thing that you got to do.
Yes.
So just let's set that part aside. I think my biggest challenge is getting access to product, security, staffing.
Staff. Okay.
Yeah. And so, and if I try to think about it all at once, I'll probably just pass out.
Yeah. One step at a time. One
so
challenge
I'm
at a time.
Compartmentalizing. I'm taking things as they come, but we're moving forward. And I am, people that have known me for a long time would tell you I'm persistent. Okay. In hobby hits, I don't want to wake up 6 months, 1 year, 6 years from now and hate it and regret doing it. And I think one of the ways I guard that from happening is by being patient.
Okay.
And so I have, so me working towards opening a store, it's been going on for more than just this year, right? In the sense of, could I, should I, can I,
Mhm.
like, but I've been like, all right, Lord, help me stay. Like I want to work. I want to do. I don't want to sit on the sidelines. Right. That's not
Yeah.
who I am. I don't want to do that. But I also don't want to get out ahead of you. I want to be patient and help me understand when I'm forcing it and it doesn't need to happen, or when I need to be still and wait on Him. And so I've really worked hard on that in this endeavor. And what does that mean? That means, I wanted this to be open the first part of this year,
Okay.
and it's not open yet. And so there's been a give and take in that part of the process, but I believe it's all for the best.
Of course. Of course. It's going to happen when it's supposed to. Like
Mhm.
everything else is kind of just rolled out the way it's meant to, in a way. You
I
don't
sure
want to
hope
rush
so.
it. You don't want to make mistakes in the beginning. So take your time, and
Yeah.
it's going to be awesome. I mean, when I on the episode I did with Matt Fuller, and we were shouting out the when you first mentioned that you were going to be doing it.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, when I talked to Matt after the show, we were pretty serious. Like, if you do some kind of event there to come down, I already looked at the round tickets, man. I could afford the tickets in a hotel, in Louisiana.
Well,
We
I would
good,
love to
bro.
have you, for sure, for sure.
Rip some product at your store, man. It'd be fun.
Look, again, I mentioned having product. I'm like, what if we accidentally sell it all real fast? Like, what am I going to do?
Yeah, right.
Where am
Yeah.
I going to, anyway, but
You gotta make
all
like fake scarcity or something to hold off.
like, I don't have a warehouse full of like more product,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
but look, it, it'll all be that'd be a good problem to have, and we'll tackle that if that does happen.
Got it. So with that, you're expecting launch to be Q4 of 2025?
Yeah, I mean, the date my wife wants is October 18th.
Okay, there you
Yeah.
go.
And I would tell you, as of right now, other than maybe like a soft opening, but not a full everyday opening, I don't see that happening.
Okay.
I could see us having a Friday, Saturday, Sunday pause, regroup.
Okay.
There's just you know, I got to hire the right staff,
Yeah.
and that part of that process, there's some other dominoes that need to fall before I start doing that.
Yeah.
And, I don't want to rush into a hire.
Yeah, that makes total
Mhm.
sense. You want to make sure, that goes with security, you got to make sure the
Mhm.
staff is because you're going to have some product in there that's going to be, I assume it's going to be pretty nice. And
I, I think so. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And we're going to get into that. And that's in West Monroe in
It is.
Louisiana, right? Okay.
Yep.
That's awesome. Um, So the vision, how will hobby hits be different from an average card shop?
Well, the sad reality is I have some experience with car shops, but I don't have any recent experience where I'm like going as a patron every week or every
Yeah.
month. I'm the guy from out of town who pops in real quick and goes, "Hey, do you have Marvel cards?" I'm like, "No, I do not."
Yeah, yeah.
And um, but I think it's interesting because there's the community here on
Yeah.
YouTube, the Discord, on Instagram, out there, that I want to be able to serve in some capacity. But then there's the local community, and the local community doesn't really care about Marvel cards. Okay. They
Yeah.
want Pokemon, sports, Magic the Gathering, maybe some Yu-Gi-Oh, right?
Yes.
And so part of the question is, how can I serve them while at the same time aiming to be the number one non-sports, specifically Marvel card store in the world? So how do I
Okay.
balance that,
Yeah, you
right?
gotta balance that. Yeah.
How do I make sure I serve the person walking in through the doors
Mhm.
while at the same time having Hobby Hits being a way that a place where it can serve the broader global community of Marvel
Yeah.
trading card collectors, and maybe even somewhat beyond Marvel card collectors. But I'm not going to deny who I am. Like, I'm a
Yep.
Marvel card fan, and so there's kind of almost be like two sides of Hobby Hits. There's gonna the customer facing retail side, and then kind of the back ground online side, you know,
Okay.
and learning how to the two to serve to work together to serve both is going to be something that I'll have to learn.
A symbiose. That's pretty
Well,
cool.
let me give you an example. Okay. Let's
Mhm.
say Top says, Justin, we've got a new set coming out. It's a flagship product and you can have 2 cases. All right. Well,
Yeah, what's the caveat? You got to buy 5 cases of sports product, or
let's say all that works out just fine. But let's
okay,
say I could sell those boxes really quickly in the Discord
of
online.
course. Yep.
Now someone walks in my store. What do they got?
Yeah, no product.
Got no product.
Yeah.
So how am I going to serve those 2?
Okay.
Right.
That's tough.
The price point that a lot of this product is being distributed assumes that you're going to make a margin because you're able to increase margins per card per pack through breaks. Well, if I do that, what are people in the store going to be able to buy? And what are people online going to be able to buy?
Ooh, that's a tough balance.
It's a tough balance. You see the tension?
Yes.
And so how am I as
Tightrope.
an owner going to be able to thread that needle? All right. So let's say I figure out a way to kind of thread the needle of the products in the store. Now the person walks in and says, hey, I'm a collector.
Yep. And then
And they're just
they sell
buying it
everything on eBay in the week or whatever.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
how am I
wow.
going to? So how do you
That's
navigate
tough.
that? Because now you got to raise the price, or people are just going to turn around and put it online, and they're going to, you know. So
Yeah.
it's you know, look, it's just there's just a challenge that's
That is a
out there,
challenge. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I don't have the perfect answer for it yet. I don't know that I will, but I think if I just have the, you know, if I just kind of keep, how do I say that? If you have a strong mission vision,
Mhm.
that has a way of answering the question for you.
Okay.
And so the goal is to, or the commitment's a better word for me, is to have a vision, a commitment that's so strong that it answers those questions, and I don't have to get caught in you know, that difficulty, right? And so
Yes.
what will that? I mean, one commitment is to not bankrupt my family.
Of course. Yeah.
Right. And
It
so
needs to be lucrative.
yeah, and so like what would it mean to not bankrupt my family? That's commitment number 1, right?
Yep.
To have something that's sustainable, that's not a fly by night, like here today, gone tomorrow, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know, what I would tell you is that a profit made fairly is holy, but a profit made unfairly is the most wicked thing, right?
It
And
is
so
wicked. Yeah.
what does that mean, right? And in a world where there's not like, this is what it sells for. It's just this. It's only this. And you bought it for this. So as long as you can manage your expenses, you make this. Like, that's not what's happening. Like, they're releasing product at this level and then turn around and the next allocation is this level.
It's a
Right.
huge step.
And then you only get access to this amount. And so if
Yeah.
you have to go into you have to go into the secondary market to buy it, you got to pay an extraordinary amount of money.
Yeah.
And so it's been able to navigate all that stuff, right?
Yeah. That's a lot. That's a lot to take in. I almost didn't even think of that. You know, like balancing the product on all these different facets of the hobby.
Well, and
And
your
thinking of which
reputation
ones.
hangs at the balance of each decision. Like,
Yeah.
oh, he's
Yeah.
that kind of store owner, or he's that kind of, you know.
Yeah. You don't want to be, yeah. Yeah. You don't want to be defined like that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Ooh. Well, with that, we're going to do the first giveaway for the Spidey hit. So we've got 9 entries. So we'll hit that and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good luck, everybody. I am in there. So if
Yeah.
I win, I will remove my, I roll it again.
Mhm. I see Joshua's comment. They have to open it in store for the collector price.
Oh, Jeremiah.
Yeah, way to go, Jeremiah.
Congrats, brother. Nice.
Love
Nice,
Jeremiah. What's
nice.
up, buddy?
And there'll be one more giveaway at the end for the purple parallel for Miles from MM22.
Mm.
All right, cool. Now with everything you were saying, do you see the shop being more of a local hangout spot, an online hub, or a blend of both?
Well, certainly it's got to be a blend of both if it wants to be profitable.
Okay.
Okay. I think that's just the reality of the world. I think your physical storefronts have to be able to capture sales on location, but they also have to be able to generate sales through online and live breaking or live selling. It's just the way the world's going. Okay. So I see it needs to be a blend of both, but I really want to be a place that if you're in my town, you can go, hey, I can bring myself or my family in there and we can have an experience that is memorable. And so even if we don't buy anything, we leave with something.
Yeah.
Right. And so how do you create a space where that happens? And thankfully there's an energy with the location of where I'm at. It's in the downtown antique area where you have coffee shops and antique stores, restaurants. It's a park and walk around area. It's
good foot traffic.
So yeah. And a card shop is a destination spot, meaning you could put it in the middle of the woods and people will still drive out there to get their stuff,
That's a great point. Yeah. I will.
So to have a destination, exactly. So
okay.
I mean, well, I told you, like, I've been to card shops, not in my hometown. They're destinations. You go to them, right? You don't stumble in and walk into one. People go, they look them up and go to them. So the fact that I'm in a walk-up location that's also a destination spot, I think is really good. But the way it's situated is on the corner of this row of commercial buildings.
Okay.
And sitting in between me and the next row of commercial buildings is a place called Alley Park. And it's owned by the city. It's a communal area with tables and some shade covering, but it's where they do the live music and the food trucks and all that stuff.
Cool.
So those events are going to happen apart from me, but I'll be able to participate and enjoy them.
Yeah, throw a little outside booth, or walk over to the park and hand out flyers.
Or put together an event that we do in the park. The Alley Park. It's like a cobblestone brick area that's it's blocked off so you can walk around and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a good little spot. Yeah.
So many possibilities. That's cool, man. That's awesome. I can't wait to see what you do with all these things you can do with the area and the location. So that's awesome.
Exciting.
If Hobby Hits had a mission statement, what would it be? And don't give me some cheesy smiles.
It wouldn't be like you listen. Yeah, I love that you listen. Have a marvelous day, right? Like that's who I am. And so I mean, I really kind of have this vision that myself and the staff that would be in the store would say, hey, welcome to Hobby Hits. How can I help you have a marvelous day? Or as they're leaving, hey, thank you for visiting. I hope you have a marvelous day. Like I want that to be a part of the experience in the store. I want that to help set the tone and the culture for sure.
That's cool. You got to make the employees learn it and make sure they say it. And if they don't, the customer gets like a 5% discount or something.
Yeah, right. I think I'm look up Chick-fil-A's tactics on how they, drill it into their employees to say my pleasure. I'm like, how do I do that with have a marvelous day?
Or on the door for when you're exiting, it says it.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
It lights up. Bing, 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 bing.
Totally.
Keep it marvelous. I love it. I mean, and that's so funny that you say it because you had such an influence on everything I was making. So much so is when I was making a name for myself, I was like, I love the marvelous thing, and sketches could be marvelous. And then I think Derek or Haley, my daughter, was like marvelously, and I was like, oh, I like that, and that's
here we are, man. I love it.
There you go. You never know what you do or say or the little things that may influence somebody to create. So that's awesome, brother. Do you see Hobby Hits being more focused on singles and grails or sealed product and pack ripping in store?
Ooh, man, what a great question. I don't think that's my choice. I think that's the customer's choice.
Okay.
I don't know that I'm going to be able to dictate that and push that on somebody, right? But I think that price point is a huge key, right? Where when somebody walks in and they're like, hey, I only want to spend $5 or $12 or 15, but there's something there that, has value. And I'm gonna do air quotes because we're talking about cardboard, right?
Yeah.
That has value that they're able to pick up and enjoy and buy. And not everybody walking in is gonna be like, yeah, give me that $800 box of chrome. Like that's not,
Yeah. No. Yeah.
yeah,
Exactly.
if that person walks in at that price point, would I like them to be able to find that? If they want it, yeah, I would like them to be able to find it.
Nice.
But in terms of like breaks, now, I'll do like a macro conversation and we'll do a micro conversation of hobby hits. Whether you or I like it or not, we have a culture that's increasingly becoming more of a gambling culture.
Yeah.
I
Unfortunately.
mean, it's just everywhere and it's penetrating everything. Okay.
Yes.
And I'm not talking about just casino or the, poker or, like sports gambling. It's just only getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Everything.
And it's becoming a part of like the way people are choosing to create their own experiences. Okay. Meaning their experiences and buying stuff. And that's one of the reasons why I think, the money has been chasing the trading card industry for investments for people to get into, because they see that as a part of our culture. It's like almost a fabric of our culture now.
Yeah.
And so, there are going to be people that want to walk in the store and they want to have that type of experience. And if that's the case, how can I create an experience that is, marvelous? Let's just use that term. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And one way I thought that, like, what if we did this? What if we did lunch breaks? What if I said, hey,
Okay.
you go pick up your lunch, bring it with you, or across the street from us is a pizza place. We order a pizza and we have a lunch break where
Cool.
the new product that comes out, we eat, we have a conversation, we break a box of cards, right? So I think there's some things like that I can do outside of your normal way that you do breaks that is more marvelous.
I like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's cool. Are you going to be doing like a podcast from the store?
That's a big question. So I will have the same location that I will be doing live breaks from will also be a podcast space.
Cool.
But there is some conversations that are being had that I'm being asked to do something with a podcast. That yeah, we'll see how that goes. But like the space around me,
Intriguing.
Is this space around me is going to change quite a bit because a lot of this is going into the store, and this space might have some more ability to create various types of content.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Mhm.
Filling one to open door for the other. I like that.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Will Hobby Hits offer grading submissions?
Were you like hanging out in my house with some type of
I was the fly on the wall.
Fly on the wall? So I've submitted the application to be able to do bulk submissions to PSA.
Nice.
It has not been approved. It's there. But I think more importantly is do a dance off the dance breaks or break dance. I like it. PJ, I have a feeling you can break dance. Love PJ, by the way. So your question was, remind me, I got distracted.
Oh, will Hobby Hits be offering grading submissions?
So I've sent in the application to be able to do bulk submissions, but more importantly is I have to make sure I have the correct staff that's going to be able to take in people's cards, right? And handle them with care, package them with care, and keep up an inventory system with, accuracy, so that if you're 1 card or 20 cards as a part of a bulk submission, that when they come in, they're properly accounted for and returned to you. So until that system and those people are in place, no.
Okay.
But once the people and the systems in place, then yes.
Nice. Wow, man. Your area is going. I hope they realize how awesome it's going to be to have excuse me. a local card shop, because from my youth, like I remember, and they're still around, but they don't do cards no more because they can't get cards like they used to. But when I was young, the comic book store was my LCS.
Mhm.
And yeah, they had comics and they had, the graphic novels and everything. But at the front desk, you could go up and buy a pack, or they had boxes, or they had in the glass case, like the full sets of certain
Mhm.
things, and like the plastic boxes that they came in. And so that's so memorable to me, not
Yeah.
necessarily the comic book side. Yeah, I remember the
Mhm.
turntables and looking through them and reading them at the store, or looking through that the book price guide for Magic the Gathering and being like, I can't believe these cards. So like yeah, that's memorable, but the cards were the most memorable,
Yeah.
especially if you went there with your friend after school and then you ripped it, or you went back to your house and you ripped it, and those were the memories. And now we don't have that.
Mhm.
It's very, very far between. I actually had a local card store,
Mhm.
who is a upper deck dealer, and I was actually getting my Fleer Ultra Midnight Sun from him for a very good price. And
Yeah.
then one day I went to him and he goes, "Yeah, I'm not breaking cases anymore. We have too many requests for breaks." And that was it. I can no more buy. I can't, unless I want to buy a case from him. I
Mm.
can't buy boxes. And I was like, geez, this is turning into like what I only have Dave and Adams, Steel City, or Midwest. And they're great options and they
Mhm.
compete with each other on prices and everything. But it's going to be awesome for the people in your area or a surrounding area, which isn't that far of a drive for them, to head over to a local card store that has such focus and passion for these cards. So I hope people understand that.
Well, and it's my job, or Hobby Hits job, to deliver it, right?
Yeah.
And so, um, whether they understand it or not, that's what we have to do.
Yeah. That's a great mission statement. There
Mhm.
you go. How important is it for you to create a space that blends both online present and in-person community?
Mm. You know, and I'm not sure if your question is related to like technology or related to like the way I exist in the Discord or Instagram or what a website might be like, or eBay, or what.
Mm.
I'm not sure.
I think I'm referencing more like, as you in presence at the store
Mhm.
and taking what you've done with the Discord and community,
Mhm.
even though you didn't mean it, what it has come to, and taking all of that and now putting it in your store to where you're building like, you might have tall tables for where kids can come in and break it, even if it's like, sports cards or Pokemon.
Yeah.
You're building that environment to be like, yeah, come on in. And then,
Well, let me
you're
just tell
still
you what
there
we're
like
doing.
you.
Yeah. So the space is only about 1,400 square feet. So
Okay.
there's only so much to imagine with and to
Mhm.
do, right? But in that space, there's going to be designated, tables and chairs. They won't go away. Like, they'll be there for people to come in and they want to hang out, read something, go through a binder, go through a stack of singles, or if they want to, play TCG games or whatever. Like, that's what that'll be there for. You know, the the question is going to be, in that 1,400 or so square feet, is that enough to serve the community? And if it isn't and it needs more, is it possible to expand at some point, right?
Okay. I like that. Okay.
And but yeah, no, I think it's imperative that the moment someone walks into the store, like, when you walk through the door, there's gonna be a little small, what I call decompression area, where you're like, huh, am I in the right place? Is this really Hobby Hits? Like, do they have, like, just, if it was raining, like, you come inside, and then once you're in there, like, all the way, and even though it's not huge, it's gonna be like, and you're having an experience. You
Okay.
may just be focused on the product itself, but there might be something unique with a piece of art on the wall, or there might be, maybe some hidden Spider-Mans around. Like, like, there's these little things that, especially if you're in that impressionable age,
Oh,
leaves a
yeah.
mark, right?
Yes.
You and me, we've seen some stuff, so it
Yeah.
it doesn't impress us as much.
Correct.
But to, a younger person, might be impressive or
Oh yeah,
impressionable.
blank slate,
Right? Correct.
exciting.
And then as they're having that, impression, like if the parents or guardians are there, like, hey, look, let's stay and let's open up, this blast or boxes, or maybe this pack, or maybe let's go through our cards and see if they'll do a trade with us, right?
Mhm.
Like, it's just that being able to happen in that space, right, is what I'm hoping.
Nice. That's cool, man. And this only makes me want to come and visit more. um, Whenever your official date for opening
Mhm.
is, what can people in your community expect for the launch? Gonna do an event?
All right. So the way my brain works, just so you know, is it's constantly marinating and cooking. And until I'm right there where it's happening, that's when it all comes together.
Okay.
Okay. So I, d- I'm still holding open what that might possibly be like. Of course, I've got ideas, and I'm an idea guy. Like that's part of it. But I think more than anything is I don't want to be overwhelmed and paralyzed by the thought that this has to be the best store ever day one.
Oh yeah.
You
Room
know,
growth. Room for
yeah, I
growth.
think if I'm not careful, I'll let that creep into my head and be like, hey, people have this big expectation. Like, Justin, this is supposed to be like top shelf day one. But it being the best with what I have to work with day one, right?
Yeah, and I think
And
that's all people could ask for.
yeah,
Yeah,
100%. And
yeah.
then and then and then understanding, like, I have people that love me and care about me and want to be a part of this, and can I create the space where they're able to be a part of that in the way that they would like to be a part of it. That's manageable, predictable, accessible, and serves everybody. So just thinking through those kind of things. Um, and it's still cooking in my head on how that's going to happen.
Well, awesome, and I'm very excited to see what you come up with as we get closer. Um, I know you touched base on taking some product so your wife could rip some Pokemon. What
Yeah.
products would we be expecting to see at your store?
Yeah. Again, I want to have a variety of product that the community wants. And again, they want sports, Pokemon, Magic the Gathering. But look, I want the Marvel card collector to walk in there and be able to go all the way back from 1966 to today with
Mhm.
something, you know,
Cool. That's cool. Yeah.
and their favorite character somewhere in the store represented on a card. It may be a 50-cent card, it may be a $5,000 card, like, but where that's possible. Um and it be done in a thoughtful, way that you can, if you only come in and do some window shopping, you still have a good time.
Love it. Love
Mhm.
it. Our friend Josh is asking, will you do in-store consignment?
Yeah. So again, that question actually goes back to the same thing with bulk submission is,
Mhm.
do I have a system and a staff in place where I feel comfortable with taking in something that belongs to someone else to care for it, to be a good steward of it, and to sell it well. And once that's in place, sure. Until that's in place, no.
Mhm. But the groundwork is being laid.
Yeah, I think,
That's cool.
look, I think that, a healthy store creates the ability for their customers to possibly sell,
Mhm.
right? What I don't want to do is, so I'm hiring. Yes, I am. What I don't want to do is like, everybody, I'll sell your cards for you. And all of a sudden I got a room full of cards and no one to buy them.
Yeah.
That's not going to help anyone. Right. And so just being thoughtful about all that.
Yeah, you gotta build up and know when the right time to execute is. So
Mhm.
that's awesome. I like that. Perna, Justin, we have a customer washroom.
That is hilarious because Perna, there actually is a washroom right now, but I'm tearing it out.
Ah, sad news,
There
Perna.
was this space was called the back alley market. And so they had meat in there too. And so
No way.
they installed a washroom for when they cut meat and stuff. And yeah, that's coming out.
Wow. And I think I remember you mentioned it's like the oldest commercial building in the area, right?
It is in West Monroe, Louisiana. It is
Wow.
identified as the oldest commercial building from 1885 or 84 or something like that.
Now, did that
But
like
wait,
stifle you?
sorry, Perna.
Is that
It's
right?
gonna be a bathroom, but it won't be for public use. It's for
There you go.
private use
Got to be
only.
a paying customer, Perna. Now, with it being like a historic building, did that stifle you with any of your designs or?
Well, like for anything outside has to be approved by the Antique Alley
Mm,
committee. So that, I won't be able to just throw whatever I want to up there. It's gotta fit in the aesthetics of downtown.
okay.
But inside, no, I mean, it's the inside has such a beautiful aesthetic. Like I don't have to paint anything that I don't want to. It's got beautiful exposed brick. For me, I kind of you're a New York guy. Like I
I like
just
it.
love. I'm like, I
Yeah.
can have Spidey and up there. But
Yeah. Yeah. Like
so that
Ditko or Juiceco kind of vibe of an apartment in the city, and part of the
yeah,
stuff goes exposing the brick, and it just has a comic vibe to it almost in a
it
way.
does,
It's
man.
perfect.
I'm pumped. And so that part's there. I've got some cool things that are in the works if they're able to, from a design standpoint, that won't be on the walls, but it'll be up and around, and really hoping that works out.
One of the coolest things I think that you said that I'm really looking forward to seeing was the vertical card displays.
Yes, yeah. Look, I think the industry understands that is the best way to display singles, and I'm glad that there's a product out there. But they're on back order, and that's part of me not being able to tell you when we're going to open. Those were supposed to come in
Oh,
at the end of September. They've already been pushed back again. Hopefully, that won't continue to happen. But I think a lot of stores are going to that because they are such a. I mean, you're able to put a lot of cards in a bookshelf style format almost,
mm.
and it doesn't take up a ton of space. So I can put 6 of those in, and I order 7. I don't know where I'm gonna put the 7th one, but I can put 6 of those in and not take
Big
up too much
house.
space. I'm
There
like,
you
"What do you
go.
think?"
That's what I do. I'd be like, oh, I got this new display here. I mean, it's definitely saves room. Saves my back if I got to go to the
Yeah,
store and bend over to look at something. I'm like, I'm middle aged now,
exactly. I feel you, my friend. I feel you.
Jeremiah is saying that he could take out the trash, wash dishes, build thingies off of store credit.
Hey, look, I can definitely trade credit for work, that's for sure.
Fire's asking, are you going to do any videos showing the progress on the building out the store?
Yeah, so, look, I mean, stumbling over my own words here. There's so much that goes on with creating the store that isn't anything I think anybody wants to watch, right? Like there's legal stuff, financial stuff, there's stuff just like swirling around in my head, right?
Mhm.
Um, you know, you want to watch me put together the displays, me, trying to find the right screw to go in the right spot. The directions are terrible and they're hard to read. Like, I don't know that anybody wants to watch that, right?
Yeah.
But when it comes time for product to go in the store and talk about what that process, he said, yes, you do. I don't know, maybe we'll do it, but Perna, that would be wonderful. I'd love to have you come visit, but so I'm not sure what people want to watch, right? But we'll definitely have some content.
Dude, make the content. There was a while there for like I was watching this British dude make a garage in his basement,
Mm.
and I was watching that people are going to watch it. Please make progress videos. People are going to come to see. If you build it, they will come, my friend. They will come. We want to see it. We're excited for this. This is like, I mean, I could speak for myself, but this is like I'm proud of you, man. I mean, we don't know. I mean, we know each other through a screen. We've met each other a few times in passing at
Yeah,
OAX. We got to really sit down for a little bit and talk. But I'm proud of you, bro. This is an awesome step. This is
thanks.
a milestone for you and your family and the community. So
Hey,
awesome, man.
well, you guys help fuel me. I really appreciate it. This stuff, it takes a belief and it takes energy, and you guys help fuel both of those, and I appreciate it.
Power to you, brother. Power to you.
Jeremiah, as a construction guy, you expect to see footage. Well, here's what the most recent video would look like. I paid. Oh, I'm so mad about this. I love these people, but I paid $400 to have for them to put together some displays, and they're still not put together.
Oh.
So it's that part's not fun.
Yeah, that's gonna come with the business, right? You know, that's tough. That's tough. I remember when I was a teenager, I worked for just on weekends and stuff for a hardware store, and then he sold it but didn't sell it. He became like I think it was called True Value. Yeah. So his small hardware store then became a True Value. We had to spend almost the whole summer building the True Value setup in the store. Yeah. And there were times where I was supposed to be building these racks and I was just chilling. And it's so funny you said that because I was like, oh yeah, I probably should have built those racks.
I've been thinking about, okay, like, could I pay do I just pay somebody like, $50 a display? Because apparently the per hour just did not work.
Per job.
And so, but it's today, anyways, I could go on and on and on, about some of that stuff.
That's funny. All right, guys. So we got 9 entries in for the MM22 Miles Morales Purple Parallel, which is 102 out of 199. I'll be running that in a minute. Yeah. But yeah, as for everyone in the chat, they're saying,
"Oh, look, you guys, I really appreciate it. In a way, we're all a part of this, right? In a small way already. So even if it's just encouraging me."
Yeah. Well, we'll run this after I just, it's an awesome adventure. Opening Hobby Hits Cards and Collectibles sounds like such an exciting new chapter. It really feels like the natural next step in your journey as a collector, creator, and now shop owner. So this is something we're all following and praying for you and boosting you up. Hoping this runs as smooth as possible.
Do you like the name?
I love the name. When you said it, I was like, that just clicks. It clicks. And then, here, let me run this and then I'll share because I pulled up your website. I know it's still under construction.
Yeah.
I pulled up the Facebook. Your wife's running the socials for the store. That's right.
She is. Yep.
Awesome. There's that teamwork, man. That's awesome. All right, guys. So good luck. Oh, there we go. Someone made a last little entry. We got 10 there. Good luck, everybody. Jeremiah and the lucky winner for this one, please make sure you reach out on my Instagram. Josh, good luck. There you go, bro.
Congrats, Josh.
Congrats. Well, Josh, I think I have your address. Jeremiah, I think I have your address. Just send them to me anyway, so I have them instead of looking for them in my little notebook. Yeah, Claws Out Collectibles. It is a great name. I love it. It has a ring. When I saw the website, I was like, oh, that just fits. It it almost seems like not to like say anything, but like Steel City Collectibles, like it rolls Dave and Adam's card, and then Hobby Hits Cards and Collectibles. It's just, it rolls, man. So yeah. I mean, wherever you're going with this, I think it's going to be a beautiful thing, and I'm excited to see. But I'll share the website. Like I said, it's under construction. But here it is, shophobbyhits.com.
That's it.
So make sure to be checking back for updates. We're all looking forward to that. And then I also have the, you do this. Getting a little better here with these controls.
Oh, you're doing a great job tonight, by the way.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate it.
And Perna says some really nice stuff here about the card shop. And I am ordering some of his newest release. Very excited about that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, you are. Okay. Well, you are more than welcome to come on for the Halloween costume party for the break as a guest. All are invited. Perfect. Yeah, we're just going to be ripping up the product, looking at sketches, and we will be just in costume. So,
You know, you reminded me, I ordered a Spider-Man mask and it hasn't come in, but it was in one of those Instagram ads. So I may have got scammed. I need to check that out.
oh no, man, no, let's go get that mask, bro.
Yeah, yeah. To figure that out. How do I look that up?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Here's the website. I mean, the Facebook, which is it looks great so far. The video, if you didn't see it, make sure to go check that out.
Yeah, you can see what it looks like
Yeah.
doing anything. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. I like it. That's how I saw the brick that you were talking about, and I was like, "Oh, that's great." I think the layout's going to be fun. One thing that I loved personally,
Yeah.
at the local card store / comic, they still do it now. Is they would do like a window display for holidays and stuff, and they'd have like somebody come in and do like the gloss paint or whatever, not paint, but like the chalk seasonal stuff where they do for the one. So that's always something cool to do for a storefront with that much foot traffic.
That's cool.
Like,
That's a
oh,
good
look at
idea.
that. People want to come in and take a look. So that's awesome, man.
And the
Again,
Instagram is HobbyHits CC.
there you go. Yes, HobbyHits
Hobby-
CC.
Yeah. HobbyHits.cc. I can't remember which one it is.
Instagram, that was the one I didn't have up.
That's okay. No. I just
Yeah, sorry.
it's not just Hobby
It is
Hits.
in the description.
Perfect.
Yes. That is in the description as well as your store, Spidey Hits store.
Yeah.
So make sure.
Cool.
So Justin, I couldn't say thank you enough for coming on. I appreciate your time and talking about your endeavors and the journey you've been on and continue to do. So it's great.
Look, Matt, thanks for being a great ambassador for Marvel cards and collecting in general. I really appreciate you kind of answering the call. We need more Marvel card content. It's definitely for it to grow, it's going to have more exposure from creators like yourself. So please keep doing the good work and giving me something to watch. So because I'm not going to watch my own content. Really do appreciate it. And thank you for having me on here. It's really been a lot of fun.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you, Justin. And everyone, thank you for hanging out in the chat and for everyone who's catching the replay. And to you all, I hope you ramble on. Catch you on the next one, guys.